Welcome to another Technology Paul. Today we're going to be talking about the new PS Plus service from Sony. PlayStation Plus isn't a new service, but Sony revamped the service last month and added quite a few new features. That is, if you're willing to pay for them. But we can't talk about this new and improved service without mentioning a service that has been canceled as well. A year ago, I did a review of PS Now, Sony's subscription gaming service that provided access to a game catalog of PS2, PS3, and PS4 games. It was a bit like Netflix, but for video games. My general review at the time was that it was prone to glitching. The library was a bit too limited, especially since it didn't contain any PS5 games, and the price was a bit too high at $12.99 a month. Well, now PS Now has been canceled and has been effectively rolled into PS Plus. So how does this new service work, and is it worth it? Let's dig in. As I said, PS Plus has been around for a long time. The previous iteration of the service allowed you to play online multiplayer, save game data online, and you'd even get a couple of free games every month, which are yours to keep and play as long as you have an active membership. That's still the case today, as the old PS Plus has basically been turned into the Essential plan on the new PS Plus. Essential is the lowest tier. You get your online multiplayer, game saves online, monthly free games, as well as the PS Plus collection, a specially curated collection of games available to download and play. There's some solid games in here, like God of War, Detroit Become Human, Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, Batman Arkham Knight, and Battlefield 1. The Essential plan is $11.99 per month, or you can get it for $69.99 per year. But if you want more of the most popular games, you can pick up the Extra plan. With Extra, you get access to the game catalog. Here you'll find over 400 PS4 and PS5 games, both new and old. Naturally, there's a lot of filler in here, a lot of games that may not be that compelling. But then there's also some of the hits like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Control, NBA 2K22, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima. Plus, included in the game catalog is Ubisoft Plus Classics, a curated collection from Ubisoft that includes Far Cry 4 and 5, The Division, and others. I went ahead and tried out some games in the game catalog, ones I hadn't gotten a chance to play. I played a bit of Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I believe was one of the launch titles on the PS5. A visually stunning game with fun gameplay and an interesting story. I played Steep, a snowboarding game from Ubisoft, which looks nice visually, but wasn't to my taste. City Skylines, which is definitely my speed, and it's something casual to mix it up. And I also played Horizon Zero Dawn, a PS4 game that was highly acclaimed back when it was released. It features great graphic art, an intriguing story, and fluid gameplay. And as I mentioned, these are just a few of the games in the catalog. I've only been playing these games for a few days, but just the games I mentioned could keep me busy for a couple of weeks, even if I really put the time in. So when you think about the entire collection of games, even just, the AAA content that's on there, there's a lot of gaming for the money that you're paying. One thing to note though is that this service won't be getting day one titles when they launch. This isn't a service that will always have the most brand new games like on Xbox Game Pass, but Sony is still bringing a good collection of some relatively new titles. And what do you pay for the Extra plan? Well, it's $17.99 per month, or you can pay annually for $114. And finally, there's the Premium plan for those who want everything. And guess what? You get even more games. You get the Classics catalog, which is PS4 and PS3 games. There's a lot of classics on here for sure. BioShock 1 and 2, Duke Nukem Forever, God of War 1, 2, and 3, Ratchet and Clank, Red Dead Redemption, Resident Evil, The Last of Us, Uncharted, and more. There's lots of old but good games to play. I could pretty much take or leave the Classics collection myself. There is a lot of great games in it, but as someone who doesn't have a lot of extra time on my hands, I'm honestly just not going to go back and play these older games. Some people will though, and it might be totally worth it. When it comes to the Classics collection as well as the regular game catalog, you have the option to either download the games or to stream the games, with just one exception being that PS3 games must be streamed and can't be downloaded. Streaming games is kind of a funny concept, really. It's like streaming a TV show or a movie, right? But it's a game. Here's the thing though, I tried out game streaming last year on the then named PS Now game service, and it was generally choppy and kind of a bad experience. Well, honestly, that really hasn't changed. Sony says you need a download speed of 15 megabits per second in order to stream at 1080p. Well, my internet plan is 1 gigabit down, and so generally I should be getting at least a few hundred megabits per second at minimum. And it was still choppy, and I kept getting warnings that my internet was too slow. It's clearly Sony's servers here that are the issue, so that's kind of a disappointment. But moving on, the premium plan also has you covered with a brand new feature called Game Trials. Game Trials are exactly what they sound like. You can play games for a limited time. Once the trial is over, you can either delete the game or buy it. Most of the available trials are between 2 and 5 hours in length, which realistically isn't a super long time, but still even a couple of hours with the game should give you a sense of whether you're going to get into it. It's also nice that the game timer is only active when you're in the game, so you can walk away from the game without losing any time to test it out. At the time of this recording, there were trials for 16 games, including Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, Cyberpunk 2077, and Horizon Forbidden West. Now, of course, you have to pay for all these features. The premium plan will run you $21.99 a month or $139 a year. So what do I think? Well, I went ahead and I got the premium plan because I wanted to test out the best plan available, but I probably won't renew on it, and I will instead opt for the extra plan. What's got me hooked is the features on Essential, the monthly free games, online multiplayer, but then there's the game catalog on the extra plan with new games added every month. That's more than enough content to keep me entertained. But that's just me. Are you a PS Plus member? What tier are you going to choose? Extra? Premium? What do you think of Sony's revamped service? What do you think of the selection in the game catalog and classic games, and the other features like game trials? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for checking out the video. If you found it interesting, click that like button as it helps more people find the content. And feel free to subscribe. I'm uploading new videos every week or two about technology and services just like this one. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.